Alright, you sitting here with Burn, and I'm about to critique some ish. Now, I went out to see the movie Sinners, and I have to talk about it because everybody's talking about it. But I have to provide my opinion. You see, because my opinion matters in these streets. Okay? The main streets of Brooklyn. So yeah, Sinners by Ryan Coogler. Okay? Or Shinners, because I believe that's how he would pronounce it. If he had to pronounce it, he would say Shinners. I believe he's from Oakland, somewhere in California. Shouts out to that dude because, I looked at him or his picture. I was like, well, them glasses that he's wearing, I don't know, man. I was like, well, why did the director look like that? But when he started talking, I was like, oh, he from the hood. He from the hood, right? Shout out to homie. Great job on the movie. I don't know if this is his first movie, but if it is, he did a great job. There's a lot of people out there jealous about the deal he got. I believe that he got a deal with the major company that that the movie came out up under, and I believe that I think it was Warner Brothers, right? Warner Brothers. He got a deal where he was able to keep the ticket or some of the ticket money, and he would be able to own the movie some years later. And many directors don't get that chance. So shout out to that dude. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. So yeah, we talk about Sinners now, or the movie Sinners, as y'all would call it. It starts off with Michael B. Jordan playing his twin brother. Now, it takes place in a World War I era, and that was like really good because it was a lot happening back then that we didn't know about. But it also puts us black folk in a time frame where we thought about slavery. It just had that whole slave look. And even at one point in time, somebody was picking cotton in the field. And that was really good. Like I really like that part. But let's go back a bit. So when the movie first starts off, Michael B. Jordan is outside of his car or vehicle, whatever you used to call them things back then. Okay, let's call them automobile or something. He was outside his automobile with his twin brother, who he also played, which was really good because they did a real good job in doing that split screen, green screen, CGI, whatever they want to call it. They did a good job with that part right there. I can see why the movie cost so much. I think it cost about 60 to 100 million. They did a good job with that. But yeah, even when I saw when he was smoking a cigarette and the smoke went in front of his twin brother, I was like, wow, that was good. Because a lot of times when they do split screen, the characters can't even come next to each other because then it's hard to crop them out. So whatever technology they got now, however they did that part, or however they made them act together was really good. But in my mind, I was like, they're going to do this through the whole movie because it's going to be really hard and expensive to do that through the whole movie. So eventually they kind of don't do that. They split them up because Michael B. Jordan's brother ends up becoming a vampire, right? I think their names was Smoke and Stack. Smoke and Stack. Shout out to Smoke and Stack. That was some good names, by the way, that they chose for this movie. But yeah, it starts off. Let me just look. Let me look up the cast real quick because I'm not familiar with some of these people. A lot of these people in this movie we've seen before. I forgot what Omar Benson Miller played in, but I remember him when he was younger. I remember that face. Delroy Lindo was in it. I believe we've seen him in so many different films. I wonder, was he in Oz? Or am I bugging? Was Delroy Lindo in Oz? I'm not sure, but Delroy, he's probably Jamaican. He got that Jamaican name, Delroy, bring, hey, Delroy, yeah. What? Anyway, he gotta be Jamaican. You got Miles Canton, who played a real good. I think he played one of the main characters. And you got Jun Lee. Woo, Jun Lee. Jun Lee. Jun Lee looked kind of good too. I ain't even gonna lie, right? But to have a Chinese woman, I believe she's Chinese. Please don't kill me if she's not. But to have her in that war setting, it also created a different feel. It did, because it was like, wait a minute, what's she doing here? Chinese people wasn't in here in America at that time. I don't know if they was, but it just didn't feel like it. I don't know. I wasn't here, but I'm just saying it didn't feel like it. When you read the history books, you're like, where was the Chinese people at in this whole thing? It wasn't there. You had another lady, Wunmi Mosaka. Okay, she played one of the Michael B. Jordan brothers, twins, wife in the movie. So yeah, this was a good cast, man. The cast was outstanding. The acting was very good. Now, some of the parts of the movie was a little raunchy. Okay, they had a scene in the movie when it first started off, where, oh, you know what? Oh, I almost forgot about somebody. I think the lady's name is Haley Steinfeld. She played the white girl Mary. I believe so. She played Mary. That's who she played. It was a white girl named Mary. She's one of the main characters too that messed everything up. She done messed everything up. She almost got the whole black crew killed because she wanted to trust her folk. Okay, that basically what happened during that part. But we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that because we was in the movie theater. We was like, everybody was like, oh, see, I knew it. I knew she was gonna do that. She gonna mess the whole thing up. I knew she was gonna do that. That's what everybody was thinking in the movie theater. Cause everybody was saying it when it happened. Everybody was like, "Oh man, I knew she was gonna mess it up." But yeah, so while that movie is taking place, you see a couple of things that are happening, and one of the things that you see happening is that music is playing a central role in the entire film. And what music does to people is it creates a certain vibration. But in order for some people to get involved in music, they kind of got to sell their soul. And I believe that was one of the points that the director had to make during this whole film, is that you might have to sell your soul for music. And if you tie that into what's going on today, and you know what? Not to break off, I'm going to break off a little bit, and I'm going to talk about just a little bit of that. Most rappers, or most musicians that are very big, had to take some serious drugs at one point in time in order to create the music that they've created. Most of your greatest musicians didn't stick around to take care of their family, or had someone very close to them die. And a lot of the times people talk about this sacrifice that you have to take when you get into the music industry, and this door that you have to go through. Listen, I don't believe that there's a literal door. If it is, hey, look. But you do have to sacrifice what you love in order to make it to a certain degree. Why do I say that? How do you become the star that you want to become? In order to get really big, you can't be taking care of your family every day. You actually have to leave them alone for a little while and get where you have to go. I think Meek was probably one of the ones that said it too. My baby mama wasn't listening to me. And it felt like he had to go get it and then come back and take care of his son. There's only very few rappers that have taken care of their family. And those rappers actually had family later on. Like, let's take Jay-Z, for example. He done already was successful already before he got Beyonce and his kids, right? So now he's able to take care of them. But in order to make it where you got to make it, a lot of times you can't get where you got to go if you got to take care of them. It's like, this is taking up all my time when I could be on my grind, right? So there's a sacrifice that you have to take as someone who's into music in order to make it. And that's like where the movie meets reality for me when I think about it. And I believe that that's what the director Ryan Coogler was doing when he made the movie. So Smoke and Stack, right? You know the ladies love Michael B. Jordan. I look better than Michael B. Jordan, by the way. So I don't really care about all that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the ladies love him. So they wanted to see the movie. Boom. So that was gonna make the money. Then Black Panther movement, the way that Black Panther looked, all that other stuff, you already know. That's something that we want to see. Then it took place in like World War I times. So everybody's thinking about slavery and all these other things like that. You know we want to see it. Then the way that the trailer looked, it looked like we was getting back at the slave owners. So that's why everybody was rushing to see that joint, because we love movies like that. We love movies that make us want to get back at the white man for what they did to us. Okay? So that's why we went to see it. But yeah, now going back to the movie, okay, because I know I went off on a tangent, but that's what I do. That's what I'm supposed to do, because I'm critiquing the movie. You feel me? So there was parts in the movie that was really good, right? For example, when Smoke or Stack, I don't know which one it was, but it was one of the Michael B. Jordan brothers, rolled up. He started to give people jobs. Why was he giving people jobs? Because he wanted to open up a juke joint. Okay? You know what a juke joint is? Well, back in those times, they used to gamble, play music, dance, and do all types of stuff in a juke joint. I believe they got a dance now called juke. Like, I know it's like juking is a thing, right? I think that's where they get the juke box from. But he wanted to open up a juke joint. So in order for him to open up a juke joint, which was kind of like it gave off a negative vibe in that juke joint, because you could basically do anything in the juke joint. You're going to make some money. They had some sex up in there. Okay, we're going to talk about that. But he wanted to open up a juke joint. So he went around to all of the people that he knew, and he basically recruited them and gave them different positions at the juke joint, right? He knew some of them could play music really good. So he got him together some musicians. He got together the Chinese woman, Grace Chow. I think that was her name, Grace Chow, right, in the movie. But her name was Lee Jun Lee in real life. That actor, he even got her together with her husband to make some catfish, okay? Don't ask me where a Chinese lady plays during that time. I'm not sure if they was around in America at that time. I'm not sure. But, you know, we never seen a Chinese person in the middle of Mississippi. But, hey, okay, I don't know. That's maybe, I don't know what they was doing with that one. But at the end of the day, it played out so well, though. It did. Because they are also a part of music history, right? So there was different things that were happening during the movie. You had Wumi Mosaka. That was Michael B. Jordan's wife in the movie, or one of the twins' brothers' wife in the movie. And she played kind of like a spiritual warrior. And that was deep too. Because her playing a spiritual warrior is something that goes back deep in African American history, or just African history in general. There's a lot of people, you know, they look down on voodoo and stuff like that or whatever, and they say, oh, these things are not real. No, listen. And then and even in some Christian churches and stuff like that, they'd be like, oh, don't believe in that stuff, don't believe in that stuff. Anytime you say a prayer, you basically trying to work up something spiritual anyway. Okay? So she has this thing that she made, that she put around Michael B. Jordan's neck, okay, where she kind of blessed it so that way he could live a great life, right? And that was her husband. But they also lost a child at one point in time. And at the end of the movie, when Michael B. Jordan, not the vampire one, but the one that stays alive, he actually ends up in the afterlife meeting that child that they lost at one point in time. So that was a good plot right there. But I don't want to move too far ahead. And I hate to tell y'all the movie right now, but I got to tell y'all the movie because it was decent though. It was decent. It was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of people making it a little bit too hype. Like, a lot of people are really hyped about the movie. And be honest with you, I think it's a lot of people from Cali, because that's how they do. When they get something that's really good, they go behind it hard. When Snoop Dogg came out, it's Snoop good. Everybody from Cali was behind it. When Kendrick Lamar make a song, oh my God, he's the greatest rapper on earth, which I don't believe. But I'm just saying, that's what they think. Kendrick Lamar is the greatest rapper that ever lived. But it's a lot of drive behind it from the people that support him where he's from. I wish a lot of places were like that, but so I feel like a lot of people from Cali supported this movie and talked about it so much, which made the world like it. It's kind of like the Kendrick Lamar effect. You feel me? Surprised Kendrick Lamar wasn't playing during the entire movie. I'm just saying. You feel me? Rod Wave got the song that's going viral right now after the movie and all of that. But I believe that, you know, it was weird that I didn't hear Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Michael B. Jordan starts recruiting everybody to work his juke joint. And he recruits everybody and gives everyone a job. One of the main characters, Cornbread, right, was the big dude. He was supposed to watch the juke joint and make sure nobody don't get in. And this white man came along that was kind of possessed. He was possessed. He was a vampire, and what they call it in the movie. And supposedly he had some ties to his family members that were KKKs years ago that caused some issues in that same juke joint. Basically, the juke joint that they were in was had some bad vibes in it. They had demons still surrounding that juke joint. But in the South, what they believe in real life sometimes is you gotta let the spirit in order for them to take over. So anytime that man who was the demon or the devil came to that house to get in, he would have to ask to be invited in, because once you invite him in, that's when he's able to get inside you. But that white man that played in the movie, I forgot his name, but we're gonna get to it maybe. He wanted to take over, but it's one thing specifically he wanted. He wanted the soul of Miles Canton, one of the actors in the movie. I think his name was Sammy in the movie. He wanted the soul of Miles. And that kind of like goes hand in hand with a lot of stories in the Bible, like the story of Job, when the devil came and was like, hey, Job, I'm gonna give you everything. All you gotta do is roll with me. But Job was stuck like, nah, man, look, nah. I believe in my God, so I ain't giving you nothing. That was kind of like what it was. It wasn't really too much of that, but there was like a plot on that where they wanted Sammy's soul because Sammy was very musically inclined. And remember, you gotta sell your soul to get where you want to in the music industry, right? And I think he kind of alluded to that too. He's like, you come play for us. We make all types of music. So anyway, there was a couple of sexual parts in that movie. There was a lady named Pearline who said she was married. She said she was married when Sammy tried to holler at her, right? Now, Michael B. Jordan had told Sammy, you gotta eat the box. If you really want to try to get with a chick, you gotta eat the box. I don't know what Ryan Coogler was thinking when he wrote that. Everybody trying to say he freaky, but I'm just saying that's normal stuff to us now. But I don't think they was eating the box back then. I don't think they was eating the box. Well, I don't know. Somebody let me know in the comments. I don't know. Was they eating the box in World War One? Like, was that an actual thing? Was they actually eating box back then? I do not know. But it was one Michael B. Jordan had told the boy, he said, look, you gotta eat the box if you trying to impress a woman. So he stepped to shorty like, yo, I like you. And she said she was married. Now, I didn't really like that part because I was sitting next to my girl. And she was like, what? You and me ain't talking about no next man flirting with you like that. You better stop it. I ain't be doing that around here. But anyway, that was a little cheater part, okay? Little promiscuous part. But anyway, he ends up later on eating the box. I'm just saying. He ate the box later on in the juke joint. So, he impressed her a little something. And I wonder if that was also a part of the plot twist or a big part of the movie, or like, did that hold some significance because those are the things that you have to do in order to get with a woman? Gotta eat the box. Get with a woman, eat the box. No, does everybody eat the box? Anyway, so going back to that part when he tried to impress her, it was another woman that came on the scene. Her name was Mary. It was a white girl. Now, if during those times you was even seen looking at a white girl for too long, it's a wrap for you. They gonna hang them a negra. They gonna hang them a negra if you was looking at a white girl for too long. So I could see why it was weird, but even on during that part, because Michael B. Jordan, his head was turned this way, and Sammy was like, this white girl looking at you. He's like, where she at? Apparently he used to deal with her before, but then she came up like, yo, what's up? Like, you left me. And he was like, I'm sorry, whatever. Anyway, she ends up in the juke joint too. Everybody ends up in the juke joint later on. He recruits everybody. This big dude, Omar Branson Miller, that I spoke about. I don't remember, what did he play in back in the day? He played in something. I want to find that movie, man. I forgot what movie he played in back in the day, but he's a big dude. He played the security. Then you had Delroy Lindo. He played the one of the musicians. Lot of big faces in here. But that chick Mary, man, she was in the juke joint just chilling, minding her own business, and then all of a sudden, she becomes that important. Why does she become that important? Because white people knocked on the door. Who were those white people? The demons or the devil that was trying to get Sammy's soul. That's all they wanted was Sammy. But in order to get to Sammy, they had to get to everybody else to convince them to give him Sammy. Right? So, white dude comes to the door and they're playing music. They're like, oh, they're playing music, and they want the people that's inside to accept them in, because they heard them playing music the whole time. The juke joint was jamming. It was jamming. It was jumping. Everybody was feeling all the music. It was just so like satisfying. The music that was playing inside there. Now, off on a little tangent again. We're gonna go back to that. The way that the music was being played, it was one specific part in the movie where they had a DJ scratching the record, a dude that was dressed in 80s outfits, like he had the Kango on with the stripes on. They had a chick from 2025 that was twerking. They had somebody that was in some type of old Chinese gear from back in the days that was dancing. So they had a mixture of music, but it was like soul. It was like souls or something. I don't know like how to describe it, but that's what it was. And it's kind of like the music had to resonate with everybody that's watching it in real life, basically, right? So I love the way that they put that part together. At this point, when I'm watching the movie, I'm just waiting for the action, though. I'm waiting for somebody to bite somebody, or because we saw Michael B. Jordan shoot somebody in the beginning in the leg or whatever. He shot him just because he didn't want nobody to say that, oh, I let this person try to rob my truck, so he ended up shooting him, which was cool. But it was nothing else that happened all the way up until that part. So everybody, we just all sitting there waiting. There was little jokes here and there, whatever, but everybody wait for that action. I want to see somebody get bit. Okay, now I think probably like a damn whole 45 minutes passed before somebody got bit. So, but yeah, there was one part that touched, that hurt everybody, but you kind of knew it was going to happen. So remember in the beginning I was telling y'all, like, the way that the movie was filmed, I didn't understand if they was going to keep them two together the whole time, because that would be kind of like a lot of work to do. So they had to split them up somehow. And how they got split up is one of the damn brothers smoke a stack. One of the Michael B. Jordan brothers ends up getting bit. By who? The white girl. Now, how did the white girl become a vampire? She had to go check to see. This is in the part in the movie where everybody went crazy. Everybody was like, yo, I knew she was going to do that. And all the black girls in the movie talking about, see, that's what y'all get for messing with the white girls. See, that's what y'all get for messing with the white girls. Because the white girl went outside to check to see the white people that knocked on the door. Because when the white people knocked on the door, they was like, yo, get out of here, man. Y'all don't belong here. But then she had went to Michael B. Jordan. Her boyfriend was like, "Hey, I want to go check and see what they about. Maybe they got some money." She goes outside. They bite the mother. Then she comes back in the house, ends up biting up Michael B. Jordan. And then that's what caused the whole thing. So a lot of people, a lot of women was saying they see the significance in that part right there. The black man always got to go deal with the white girl and get in trouble. Shannon Sharpe. Was Shannon that sharp? I don't know. I'm just saying. That's what they trying to say. Okay? But that's what they saying about the movie. Yeah. So that part happens. And then from that part, they are trying to protect the juke joint or the house that they bought. They kind of bought this place from this old KKK slave master type of dude or whatever. But he knew what he was selling them, because he wanted everybody to die in there somehow so he could come and take over. Something about that whole thing that was crazy. But, you know, when you get to the end of the movie, you'll see, right? But yeah, they had to defend the joint. But then big man, Omar Miller or Cornbread, had to go outside to take a pee. He ain't come back for mad long. When he came back, everybody already knew, like, oh man. So some of these things in the movie was predictable. Like, you just knew what was gonna happen next. And you knew that the wife was, you knew that Michael B. Jordan, Smoke or Stack, whichever one it was, Stack, you knew that Stack's wife was gonna die. You knew that Stack's wife was gonna die because she said it. She said, "If one of them vampires bite me, baby, stab me right in my heart so I ain't got to deal with the pain." And that's exactly what happened. They bit her, and then he had to, that was real emotional at that part too, because he had to kill his own wife. Or he had to help send his wife's soul to the heavens, I guess, if you want to say, right? He had to help that part. All of that happened. The end of the movie was really good when he pulled out that Tommy gun and started grrrrah, grrrrah. He was tearing everybody up, boy. Them gunshots was ripping and blazing. The end of the movie was really good. I really liked that part. And yeah, just the way that it ended was really good. I liked it. Overall, I give the movie a B+. I'm not gonna give it an A, because I really think that more action could have happened earlier in the movie, but the long wait to get to the action was suspenseful, so it was really good. It was a good movie overall. I think people are hyping it up too much. Oh, you gotta see that movie, they're hyping it up too much, and I think it's because it's a hood dude that wrote it. But at the end of the day, I give it a B+, man. What do y'all think? Do y'all think the movie deserves an A? Do you think it deserves a C, D, F? It's definitely not an F. But what do y'all think the movie deserves? I think this movie deserves a B+. Rate this movie from 1 to 10 if you could. But what do you give it? An A, B, or C? We're not doing no D, E, F. We're not doing that, because the movie ain't bad. But what do y'all give this movie? I want to know. Reach down in the comments. Subscribe to The Red Couch Will Burn. This is my critique of Sinners by Ryan Coogler. Let's go.